Will the meeting please come to order? Jane, please.
4th of July, Declaration of Independence, Independence Day coming up. We know that that happened in history. We found out in history class when the United States separated from Great Britain, we became our own country. Independence is a wonderful word, a wonderful thing. We all want to be independent. It means we're healthy, we're in charge, we can take care of ourselves. But sometimes we need a little help. Let us always remember that we belong to our own personal family, our Cedarfield family right here, the United States of America, and God's family. And when you need a little help, you ask a friend from one of those families. Friends are always willing to help. I can show you how to be a friend. Tomorrow, I invite you to come to the charitable kickoff right here in Fellowship Hall at 4 o'clock. I'll be sitting at the Angel Fund table. I want to be your friend. Thank you.
Amy, your report, please.
Good afternoon. I have a short report today. The first item on my list is census. We currently have 319 apartments occupied in independent living. We do have many coming in for the next few months. We also have many transitioning to assisted living from independent living. So as Ms. Kelly said, please remember to be a friend. They were your friends in independent living. They're still your friends when they're in assisted living as well. Emily and her team have many tours also set up for the vacant apartments in independent living over the next few weeks, and we're excited to welcome new residents to those apartments when they move in as well. A pond update for everybody. As I shared last time, the pond and pond beautification is high on our priority list. Work is scheduled to begin on the pond starting July 6th and stretching through the 10th of July. We'll have a better idea at that point what the next steps will be in the process of beautifying our pond and what will come next. And that timeline, once we have those next steps, will be shared as well. A parking reminder, there's no overnight parking in the circle in front of the building, as well as the administrated lots. Also, if you have stickers on your car that are not up to date, meaning your inspection sticker or the stickers on your license plate, we ask you to reach out to the facilities department and let us know what the plan is for that car. That would indicate to me that you are not using that vehicle, and as everyone knows on campus, parking is very tight. It would be helpful if we could help make arrangements to remove those cars if you're not using them. And lastly, third floor carpet replacement is well underway. We're just finishing up the third floor. Furniture will be arriving the second and third weeks of July for that third floor, and you'll see close to a finished product. We also still need to do painting, and thank you to the Fresh Eyes Committee yesterday for helping us with those selections of paint colors. Once that floor is complete, we'll start the preliminary organization for carpet replacement on the first floor, and that will occur early fall. We're thinking late September or early October. Thank you.
Nancy, Cedar Chest.
Since my last report in May, the Cedar Chest has taken in $1,595 and approximately another 2,000 from the furniture auction that we just had. With the sale tomorrow, it means we'll be well over 4,000 for the month, which is excellent. We met this month to determine what funds made in the previous year, ending on May 31st, will be dispersed to various Cedarville causes. We are happy to report a profit of about $30,000 was made. This is due to your shopping, your donations, and the hard work of the ladies who work at the Cedar Chest. Of this amount, donations will be made to the following: the Angel Fund, the Samaritan Fund, the Flower Guild, the Library Fund. Under the resident program funds, we are donating to the Art General Fund, Music, Photography, Woodworking, and Scholarship funds. So we're trying to help everybody as much as we can. In addition, there'll be free ice cream for team workers and residents in August on a date to be announced. This is to show our appreciation to all of you who support the Cedar Chest. Thank you so much.
That's fabulous, and what that means is everybody's got to go shopping. Denise, the shop.
The shop at 2300 continues to chug along. We're doing really, really well. I would encourage any of you all who have not gotten your 4th of July celebration gear. We still have some left, and I would encourage you to come get some so you can celebrate with everybody. Thank you.
Sally Vacra.
This summer, we will have no programs, and the programs will start up in September, and we have a very interesting one. Art Derby, who is a professor at the Business School, University of Richmond, in the finance department, and he is a distinguished chair, has a distinguished chair, and his program will be on cryptocurrency. And for some of us, that means we will be learning from having this much information about it to that much, maybe. And Ann Williams will pick up on the election, but all I can say is get out and vote.
Steve, it's your turn. Go green.
So I'm Steve Beaslin from the dining room. And I just wanted to talk quick about our takeout program in the Go Green initiative. And in case you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, which I think most of you might be by now, this is what we're talking about. Our containers to do away with styrofoam. As of July 1st in the state of Virginia, we can no longer have or use styrofoam, so we came up with this awesome method, and this is recyclable but also reusable up to, they say, about 500 uses. We process, wash, clean, and this is primarily what we're using as of now. We started Monday for takeout meals, and we've been distributing these nice bags to all of you, and you can see a host in the pub if you haven't already gotten it. We've been keeping up with the checklist, so you're encouraged to bring your bag, whether it's that one or your own, to pick these things up. We do have the plastic bags available should you forget, so we got you covered for transport And just a few maintenance things about this. We ask that you do not microwave or reheat inside the container, oven or microwave. It just helps to extend the life expectancy of these items. They are microwave safe, but if we don't do that, they'll last longer. Knife cutting, eating out of it and jabbing a knife in there. These are things we know from experience because we've been using this product for quite a number of years now on a very small scale. So we have experience with this, and just those are some things that come up. Well, there's drop-off containers both in the cafe, right by the current waste receptacles. There's a bin there that you can return. All you have to do is rinse them. You don't need to wash them. You don't need soap, water, just a quick rinse, and just give them to us. We sanitize them from there. Up in the cafe, main dining. And also, we will still be using some recyclable plastic items for sauces, sides, different things. You just won't see styrofoam. And that's all I have to say about that. You can see any of us in the dining room. We can answer any questions you may have. And, of course, our lovely host staff, they're keeping the bags. Thank you.
It's amazing how much can go in a bag. This is a meal for two. Now I'd like to call on the philanthropy leadership team, Paul Springman.
Thank you, Helen. I just have a couple of brief comments I'd like to share with you today. Jane Kelly was kind enough to give you a preview of what's going to happen right here tomorrow afternoon in Fellowship Hall. But just to sort of put things in appropriate context, you've probably heard by now that we're approaching philanthropy in a little bit different fashion this year. Aligned with Cedar Field's Enriching Life's Journey, our theme from the Philanthropy Committee is Join Us on that journey. And tomorrow you'll hear an invitation and encouragement to join in the journey. We'll be here in Fellowship Hall tomorrow afternoon, Thursday the 25th, kicking off at 4 o'clock. We will have a very brief program at about 4:15, and following the 4:15 program, there'll be some light nibbles around the room. There'll be some adult beverages here. We'll have live music by Andrew Magruder. But the important thing to remember is that we'll have information tables around the perimeter of the room. And as residents, you'll be given the opportunity to meet with folks like Jane Kelly from the Angel Fund, who will tell you how the Angel Fund benefits from your generosity by contributing to the various funds. After the event concludes, and the appeal will run for 5 weeks until the end of July, every resident will receive materials in their mailbox about the drive itself, a nice brochure, and how you can participate. Following the event, we will have periodic updates during the 5-week period of time on Community Channel 974, through the Informer, and various other means. So to remember, tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock, right here, and if you have someone who's not in attendance today or not watching live at home, it's on page 4 of the current Informer, all of the information about the event tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock, right here. We hope to see everyone. Thanks a lot.
As you can see from just the few reports that have been going on today. So much is going on here at Cedarfield. And so my remarks today really are, please get involved. Anything that you want to do, or most things, are here. And we need you to come to us and say, I'd like to be involved. Don't wait for us to just go to ask you to be on a committee. If something interests you, let us know. And we really would love to have more people involved. Today, so far, we've talked about Go Green. We've talked about philanthropy. We will be talking about voting. And as you know, tomorrow you can do two things at once. Voting is till 4 o'clock from 1:30, and then the philanthropy event will take place here. So please come vote and then come enjoy and learn. We have so many new people, which is marvelous. And it's such a good way to meet people, for new people and for those people who have been here to just get involved. So please join us. Is there a quorum? Good. Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes as distributed? In that case, I say the minutes are approved as distributed. Thank you. Committee reports. Dining services we've heard from. Environmental, Frank. Facilities, Ann.
We had a meeting in late June, and we talked about interior signage, which was a topic of discussion when I moved to Cedarfield almost 6 years ago. We've been through 3 directors of maintenance, we've been through 3 contractors, but I hope we're getting serious about interior signage, so that be thinking about this. TV monitors are not all working, and that is a Comcast issue. It is not a Cedarfield issue, and Kelly Black is hard at that, or Amanda Kelly. Kelly Black, I think, is working on the monitors. If you have a question about your bill and something to do with Comcast, see Amanda Kelly. Interior lights, in my report it says Denise Arnold is going to check to see if they actually have been purchased and are on campus. And the answer to that is yes, they're here. We now have lost our electrician, but they will start getting installed for the places they've not yet been installed, so that will start soon. External lights are now being monitored by Jack Johnson. The security team each night is supposedly reporting any lights they see that are out. Sidewalk lights need to be focused on the sidewalks. The AB and ABBC courtyards need to have sidewalk lights, and that's a project for this year. Ceilings in the cottages have all been inspected, and the last one needing repairs is being scheduled for repairs. Jack Johnson is working on a permanent solution for frozen pipes in the cottage. Preventive maintenance of cottage HVAC systems will be taken care of by the master HVAC technician who has recently been hired, Les Hoffman. So we're glad to have him on board. There was a collapse of part of the ceiling in the covered parking many months ago. Denise Arnold said the debris is to be removed soon. Has it? I'm looking at my source. Yes, the debris has been removed, and I know that there is a contractor who has looked at the project. I'm not sure where that is in terms of repair. There are 2 items that have come to my attention that need a little bit more education. One is the use of what I'll call the intercom box that's in the foyer of each of A, B, and C wings. It's a fairly old system, but there is a sign that says if you need access to the building, because the outside door you can push a button and it opens, but the inside you have to have a fob. If you've forgotten your fob, press #0001. You will not hear any phone ringing. You will not hear any voice saying anything, but be patient, and magically the door will open and you can get in. And that's what you can tell your guests as well. There used to be a system that would work if you had a landline in your apartment where the guests could call your apartment number. The system is so old that we're not sure, no new numbers can be added, and we're not sure how many of the old ones might work, so it's best just to use the #0001. Denise Arnold is now aware that the butterfly system, which is at the Parkview entrance, she'll be working to get that for the A, B, and C wings so people can get in using that. The second item is the numbering system for the apartments in independent living, and if you learn the system, it is so easy to help you, until we get our signs, to help you figure out where apartments are. So if you're on what I call the axis or the spine of the building from Town Center to Parkview, if you look at the first number, of course, that tells you what floor you're on, 1, 2, 3, 4. The second digit in the tens column, the zeros, 10s, and 20s in that second column are along that spine of the building. The 30s and 40s are in C wing, the 50s are in B wing, and the 70s and 80s are in A wing. For the most part, some of the 80s and 90s are in D wing, but there are a handful of apartments near D wing that also fall out of that. But if you can get the system, which you'll see in the minutes, if you can get that into your mind, that will help you greatly. Thank you.
Nancy Springman has to leave early and is asked to go early, so wellness and leisure.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to take an opportunity to thank two of my committee members who have recently tendered their resignations from our committee. The two people I'd like to thank are Mitzi Emery, and I don't know how many years Mitzi has been on the committee. I've been on it for 4 years, and Mitzi was there before me. So she has been on the committee for a long time, and I would like to just thank her for all of her time and energy that she has spent helping on our various endeavors. The other person who has resigned is Susan Woolley, and Susan has helped the last 2 years, this year and last year, on revising the resident-run club booklet. And again, I'd like to thank her for her time on the committee. Speaking of resident-run club booklet, the subcommittee has finished all their edits of that book. It's now with a team member, and hopefully the committee will have a draft to review at their July meeting, and our goal is to have the booklets all printed and be distributed to all the residents in September. I think this booklet is going to be, I hope you guys are going to love it. It's a completely, it's going to be a little bit different than it was before. In addition to having the resident-run clubs in there, we've added a section on volunteer opportunities in the back so that that document is in a place that everybody can access it easily. I don't know if anybody's noticed, the TV in the Atrium Cafe now has a sign next to it that will be highlighting various sporting events that will be on the television for that week. I know it's usually always on tennis down there, but certainly feel free at any time to look at that schedule, and if you like to watch the Yankees play baseball or something of that nature, feel free to change the station. The only requirement is that you ask the other people in the cafe if they mind if you change the station, and also too that TV is only to be used to watch sporting events. Right now, there's a teenage volunteer who has come up with the system that we're going to be using, but I'd like to plant a seed. He will only be doing it for the summer while he's off school. And then we were going to be looking for someone, a resident who loves sports and who would be willing to take on this project. You would have to have some basic computer skills to be able to put together the document that's then being posted by the television. I'd also like to take an opportunity at this time to thank the Arts Council. We are now working very closely with them on different projects, and they share their meetings with our committee, and Judy Johnson is a member of both of those committees, and she brings their business report to our meetings and lets us know what they're doing. And so I will have an opportunity to be able to share the highlights of what the Arts Council is doing at this meeting. First, I'd like to say they're working on several new galleries around the building that will be highlighting, many of them will be highlighting resident art. And so stay tuned to areas such as the Long Clinic Hall. That's going to be spruced up a little bit with some more art. The gallery where the photography is going to be spruced up a little bit as well. And in addition, there's been new purchases of more fine art that you'll be seeing hung around the building in the near future. There was a subcommittee of people that worked on a project. It was myself, Donna Koenig, Katrin Hudala, and Sarah Ferguson. We worked on a sort of a document, I guess, it's being called the Shared Values for the Art Studio. And that's going to be posted in the art studio. And it's just some guidelines on how we would like to welcome people into the studio and how we would like to enhance their experiences while they're there. One thing I would just like to also mention, that the Arts Council is working on something they're calling the Stroll and Roll. I don't have a date for when this is going to happen, but what is going to be happening is that rollators, canes, wheelchairs are all going to be decorated in a workshop, and then there's going to be a parade with refreshments that will happen after that. To my knowledge, according to this, I don't think a date has been picked yet, but stay tuned for that. It sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. Come bring your rollator and decorate it in the art studio. Are there any questions or comments for me? Okay, thank you.
Virginia, welcoming.
Enriching life's journey, and I think that's a wonderful premise. And I know it means so much to so many of us because you, as volunteers, I'm sorry, should I start over? No. It's a wonderful experience to see so many people here that are volunteers and do so much to help this facility grow. I'm impressed with all the groups and what is done to make Cedarfield such a wonderful place to live. I personally am grateful every day to be here, and I try to convey that to potential and new residents. 10 new people have moved in since we last met, 4 in cottages, 6 in this big house, and many more people will be moving here in July. Our welcoming ambassadors are ready to greet them. As for me, I'm still looking for that 5%. Take care. You didn't laugh, I thought it was fun.
You'll see Virginia everywhere, and she's just doing a great job. So thank you and the committee. Safety, John? religious life. I think you gave your, do you have another report? Library, Sally.
Changes in where things are. Classics have been moved again, and because of how often classics are checked out, they are on the very bottom shelves. And that starts over where the where the nonfiction begins and wraps around all the way underneath large print. And we have some really lovely books. If you don't even want to read them, you want to go through and see the lovely printing and pictures alone, because it marks us in time. Then the new nonfiction section that was parallel to the hallway, we just eliminated it. We've integrated all those books immediately once they leave the work table, where we shelve them temporarily, maybe for a month or so. And now they'll be right into the nonfiction shelves that line the right of the library. And just have a peek to find where everything is. We're constantly trying to use our space better. And you know, like when you first moved into your apartment and you had too much stuff for the size of the room, that's our constant battle. And then Dolly Hintz. What a lady. I'm sorry, I didn't expect this. It's a good thing I'm not giving Dolly's eulogy. She'd be after me. You know how important she was to the city of Richmond. One thing alone would be the doorways, which was just a fantastic project that she stuck with for decades. And here at Cedarfield, she was chair of the library, and she had 3,500 books put into the digital system. So we have now the library thing. And that was quite a project. She and one of her daughters did it. She was very forward-thinking. And we, as mentioned at her funeral, was one of her favorite projects. And of course, she was one of our favorites.
Health, Mary Ann.
The Healthcare Committee met actually last Wednesday, and there are three main takeaways. The first thing is, in January or February, I presented to the Healthcare Committee a quilt of honor, and this stemmed from the death of a very good friend of mine up in Pennsylvania. So when a resident passed away in healthcare, the nursing staff approached their family and said, we have a ritual. We have a quilt that we would like to place over the body bag, and we would like to share a moment of silence with you in honor of your loved ones. And then after that, the body was taken out to wherever the funeral home, van, hearse, whatever it was parked. Everyone in my committee thought this was a really nice gesture. It was very calming for my friend's husband when she passed away. And it gave the family a little bit of solace about the events that were going on. So the Healthcare Committee said, we think that's a great idea. We came to the Residents' Council, and they agreed to, I'm going to make the quilt, but they agreed to fund the fabric and all the parts to make the quilt. So the fabric is on the back table that was picked by another committee member and I, and hopefully by August, we will at least have the quilt top finished. Depends on how fast I cut. So if anybody wants to look at the fabric, that's back there. So that's item number one. Item number two is, we don't really have a catchy name for this, but we are having a presentation that's going to be in September. And I really consider this to be a gift to your loved ones, your spouse, your children, your nieces, your nephews, your close friends. And it's going to be a topic about discussions and decisions and documents. And at the moment, we have a law firm coming talking about power of attorneys and wills and the importance of all that. We have someone from Honoring Choices, which is an advanced directive, coming to talk about advanced directives. We have, someone's going to talk about what a DNR is and what the implications are. I have someone coming to talk about hospice, what it is, what does hospice do, and what does palliative care do. And someone from one of the funeral homes will be coming to talk about prepaid funeral programs. These are topics nobody wants to discuss, but are so important for everybody in your life and your loved ones to know. And these decisions need to be made when everybody's healthy and not in a crisis mode. So that's coming. It'll be September the 24th. And then the other important thing that was brought up, and Amy can correct me if I'm wrong as I repeat this, was there's been some concern on dining in the two healthcare sections. They have, the administration's working on a task force. They've got a whole team together that's looking at this, talking to residents' families, working with dining to come up with better options and the best options for the residents that are in the healthcare section and their families, and to try to bring this back, since socialization is so important for this group of residents, into a more home-like setting. This is just starting. There are no definitive answers yet, but that will be an ongoing, and I will keep you all updated on that. Are there any other healthcare questions that anybody has?
I just wanted to ask something about the system that you're having now with contacting if you need help in the room with your spouse. How do we do the contacting now? Because I've talked to a lot of people, they say they really have the phones anymore. I'm not quite sure.
There's a call bell system in every room.
Yes, I know. I know. What I'm asking is how do they get that call? Because sometimes we call and they say they haven't gotten it. So I'm not sure. That's what they said. They said they hadn't heard it.
I know the call bells are checked, system is checked every day. Yeah.
Yeah, because they had said they don't have any phones. A lot of people says, we don't know what happened to the phones. Well, I knew that was the system, but I didn't know if it had been changed because of that. Okay.
Not yet. That may be coming in the future, but not yet.
Okay.
Thank you. If you don't use the mic, anybody listening at home cannot hear the questions and what goes on. So I appreciate your waiting. And I really want to thank Mary Ann because we have $500 that we can spend during the year. And this is taking only a part of it, and she's doing all the work. And next time you see those pieces of fabric, you will be seeing the quilt, which will be very nice. Garden Committee, Roger. Flower Guild, Louisa. Finance, Carol. No. Then I'd like to call on our area rep today in Area 6, Stacy Fonville, who will be giving their report.
Oh, wow, I've never stood up here before.
Just pull it down.
Oh,
There.
a lot of people. Helen asked me to report on Area 6. Go Area 6. When I came on board last year as a rep, we only met like 3 times. And my best friend ever here is Pat Alders, and we decided that we should meet more often. So we have been doing that once a month, and it has been so much fun. Now we know who's in our area. We meet in the atrium, and on one date a month, and we discuss whatever we feel like we need to talk about. And then I will go to Kelly Black, who is wonderful. She will listen to whatever we've had to discuss, and hopefully things get done when we're upset about something. But anyway, the best part is we know who our friends are in the area. And that's so wonderful because we sit around the table in the atrium and discuss whatever anybody wants to discuss. And it's fun, we get to know each other, and it's just been a good thing. Then, if the area residents want to bring whatever to drink, or they want to stay for dinner, we sit together and we have a really joyful time. I just recommend this highly. We've gotten to know each other. It's just the best. Anyway, thank you all so much. We've gotten a lot of things done, and we've had a great time. Go Six.
Thank you, sweetie. That's what area reps should be doing and are doing, which is marvelous. They just don't want to talk. And Stacy, I thank you for making a report. And it does help for other groups to know what's happening and how they too can enhance the kind of work they're doing. It's very fun. Unfinished business. Resident on the Pinnacle Board, Ann Williams, Chair.
It's been an interesting month, and there will be a full report that will be attached as part of the minutes so you can see the whole iteration of what we've done. But on June 16th, every resident in independent living received in his or her mailbox instructions on voting and a copy of the bio of our two candidates, Dan Balfour and Paul Springman. Voting starts tomorrow, 1:30 to 4 tomorrow, I have to figure out which day, in the gathering place, which is kind of right across from the bank. Bring your ID with you. I don't care if you're my next door neighbor. There are so many new residents, we need each person to bring their ID. So wear your Cedarfield name tag, that will suffice. Bring your valid driver's license, bring your ID card from DMV. Somebody said, can I bring my passport? Yes, but bring your ID with you because they will be checking IDs. So IDs, gathering place 1:30 to 4 tomorrow, and then again on Tuesday, June 30th from 11 to 1:30. I'm picking up a list this afternoon from David Taylor of all residents who are living in independent living, so we'll have that. Proxy votes are not allowed. Following the close of voting on June 30th, 3 people will be counting the votes, and those are Suzanne Fountain, Marianne Bagby, and Kay Summers. And the person who receives the greatest number of votes shall be declared the winner. Many thanks are due to my committee members, Sherilyn Heatwole, Carol Marco, Tom Maxwell, Frank Miller, and Elvira Seghetti. Please read the minutes and read more. Any questions? Voting will be hard. You will need to circle a name. There will be two names, and you will need to circle one of the two names. Yes. Wait for the mic.
I'm Eddie Phillips, and we've lived here 18 years, and this is a wonderful time. I wondered if there could be some security with the ballots, number one, between the two voting times.
Yes.
And the second thing is, I think someone from the court where we live should be involved in the count, if that's possible. Thank you so much.
One, let me describe who will be counting. The current secretary of the Residence Council, a past secretary of the Residence Council, and the secretary of VACRA. So those are the three people who will be doing the counting. And security, yes. David Taylor, who is the business manager of Cedarfield, will bring a locked ballot box to the gathering place tomorrow at the beginning of voting. At the end of voting, he and one of the three people working the voting tomorrow will take the ballot box, which will have the used ballots in it, the unused ballots, and the list of residents who have and have not, the complete list of residents will go with David Taylor, and they will be maintained in his office under lock and key until June 30th, when they will reappear in the gathering place. Does that answer your questions? Wait for the mic. You've had a great deal of experience with elections.
Would it be possible for someone to observe the count?
I have asked the team members working not to allow more people into the gathering place is not a big room. There will be 3 past presidents working the polls tomorrow. They will be past and current president. Sherilyn Heatwole, Helen Horwitz, and Tom Maxwell will be working the polls. And I've asked them not to have more than 3 to 4 voters in the room, because one person will be checking them in, your name, and you'll show your ID, and person 1, and then person 2 will check you off on the list. Person 3 will give you a ballot. You'll go and vote, and then you'll stick your ballot in the box. That's not a big room to observe anything.
No, that sounds fine. I meant the actual counting. Could someone be appointed to come in or allowed to come in if they wanted to observe the counting?
No, we have 3 residents, 3 representatives of 2 organizations who will be doing the counting. I will not be in the room while they're doing the counting. It will be the secretary, a former secretary, and the secretary of VACRA. I trust my fellow residents. They will notify me when the voting is done. They will know whether I report the correct information at the end of the voting. Other questions? Yes, sir. Alan? Wait for the mic.
Thank you. Ann?
Yes.
I don't think we got anything in our mailbox. I'm a new resident. May I talk to you afterwards? Because I have no idea what you all are talking about.
Yes, and
Okay.
and Helen and I stuffed every mailbox in the here,
okay.
and then I personally stuffed every mailbox on the lane in the court early that morning.
Yeah,
But it
perhaps.
is posted on the bulletin board outside the mailroom. But yes,
Okay, wonderful.
I will
wonderful.
get you a copy.
Thank you so much.
Any other questions? Thank you. Sorry, another question.
Hi, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that you said some of us were interested in knowing the criteria that you used to nominate the people, and I thought that you said that would be not published before the nominating process, but it would be when you made the nominations.
One, we didn't have any criteria. We might have had criteria if there had been 15 people nominated, all of whom wanted to run. We might have developed criteria and then evaluated candidates against those criteria. In your report that will be with the minutes, you will see that the nominations started on whatever the May meeting of the Residents' Council was, went through June 3 with a slide on 974 every day saying, get your nominations to me. We received 9 different nominations. Fairly quickly, 6 of those people said, thank you so much, but I do not wish to continue further in the process. 3 of the people wanted to continue in the process until one of them had a medical emergency on a Sunday afternoon and said, I need to withdraw because I'm not sure what's in my future. That left us with the 2 candidates. The committee did meet with the 2 candidates to try to make sure they understood, as much as we understood, since we've never had this before, what the time commitments will be on this person, because there will be 4 meetings a year of the board, 2 in Richmond, 1 in Williamsburg, 1 in Roanoke. The person will be on 2 committees. It will take a fairly big chunk of time. A resident asked me yesterday, why does somebody have to resign as president-elect to run for this position? I said marital bliss, because if the person tried to be president and also be the representative to the board, it would take a fair amount of time of that person's life. Any other questions? Read my report.
As president, it was up to me to come up with a program to be able to have this process take part. And I will tell you that immediately the past presidents as a group, who are all still active, still very much involved in everything going on around here and understand Cedarfield. And they all said yes, and they have worked together and worked diligently. So I encourage everyone to vote starting tomorrow, and let's move forward with our best foot forward to make this position work for everyone. There's no new business. Before I call for an adjournment, I just want to give you a personal comment. For 10 days last month, people didn't see me. And when I came out of my apartment after having the virus for 10 days, everybody said, oh, did you have a good trip? And they figured I had been somewhere nice. So this week, I am going on a trip, and I hope that each of your summer vacations are healthy and everybody stays well and enjoys. So on that note, I asked for a motion to adjourn. All in favor? The meeting is adjourned. Thank you.